Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I will be fitting a displacer to Agatha. Not a job I want, not a job I expected, but let's crack on. So I'm going to have to apologise to Ricky in advance here. This doesn't get seen very often, but sorry mate, your car's covered in leaves. Because of the hot weather we've been having, basically all the leaves have been falling off the trees there, so she's absolutely covered. Do apologise. Anyway, what happens when a wheel falls off a car? Allegros. Right, that's the jokes out the way. Then I should be on stage with these kind of comments. Right then, dead simple then. So first things first, safety first. Balance the car precariously on a axle stand that's held up with a brick. The jack's under there as well, so that's rather safe. Don't worry, I've worked under these before with like that. It ain't going to go nowhere. It's safe, giving it a good rock. Anyway, right, so dead simple really. Undo this and that. Undo the pivot, slide it out, pull the displacer off. There's nothing really much to explain, if I'm honest. Yeah, great. Let's crack on, get some bolts undone. So we've got the inside pivot bolt already undone and off. This one stays on because we actually pulled the whole thing out all in one go. So the cross tube mounting points there to the cross tube to the rubber, those are all out. Them will come out nice and easily, obviously, because the car was only done what, 3 or 4 years ago now. So as I expected, everything is just basically falling out nice and easily, which is what I want, especially I've just come out from work. So right, so I've got an axle stand under here just to support the radius arm there. The pipe has been disconnected, so now she's all nice and floppy and loose. So I've just got these 2 bolts to remove, and then I can literally pull out the pivot pin, and the suspension unit will disconnect from the rest of the cross tube. So that's the mount undone. The cross tube, like the Princess, does just rest on the exhaust, so it's not going to go anywhere. And I've got the axle stand under there anyway, so it doesn't drop too far. So already I've had to go prising out the mount, and it's nice and loose, and there we go, out she comes. So I am going to go back off camera now because I don't want the unit to drop on the floor completely. So just don't want to damage anything and things to fly around, and because obviously Ricky is going to send this unit back. You know, might get some refund off it, who knows. But anyway, that's not for me to decide. So let's just pull the rest of this shaft out, and then I can basically fit the new unit, which is there. Nice simple job. It's not that time consuming. So I've swapped over the hose to the new unit, so basically we are almost ready to go back in. I've got the shaft fully out, because what I'm going to do is give it a good coat of copper slip, just so that when a unit fails again, hopefully everything will come undone quite nice. I shouldn't laugh, I've got Mrs. Wynn to do yet. Nice. Right, that's some copper slip on there. Now I'm just going to put a little bit in the hole on the pivot pin where that shaft goes through. Right, there we go. Now behave yourselves. You. Right, that's it. I can now offer everything up and slide it all into position. And there we go, the shaft is fully inserted. You naughty lot. I know what you're thinking. Right, So I'm not going to bolt this up just yet. What I am going to do, no I will, I'll just put a couple of bolts in just to hold it all in position there, there and there, and then I'll lever this up and get the bolts in on here. So that's everything all in place and tightened up, hose reconnected to the main hose there, to the main pipe. So now it's just a case of putting the wheel on, let her off the jack and the axle stands, and pump it up, and let's see what happens and check for any leaks and whatnot. Hopefully, this is, fingers crossed, this is all going to go pretty smooth. So that's Agatha all back together on her wheels. I've got the suspension pump connected up, and yeah, let's get introducing some fluid. This may take a while. I see movement. Yep, she's going up nicely. So that's a reasonable ride height for the time being. I'm not going to go too mad. Regarding the way these are set up, same as the Princess, same as the Ambassador, I prefer to run them slightly lower than what's recommended. Just a personal thing, so I think that you just make sure everything is kind of in a relaxed state, especially all the bushes. So when they're all set, when you put them together, when they're dry of any fluid, by the time you pump it up, you want all them bushes to be in the same place. So when you set up your standard empty ride height, which is a measurement from the centre of the hubcap up to the wheel arch, when there's no fluid in it, your bush is in a relaxed natural state. So the same should apply when you're on all its wheels, and it's all on the floor, and when it's pumped up to the correct height, then measurements should be the same. I would have thought. That's my theory. Whether the manual says different, we'll have a look, but at the moment that's just about where I want it. So now I can leave the car for a day or so, and I basically just want to leave it to see if it drops or if there's any leaks. I mean, it's getting late in the day now anyway. You know, I still need a shower, and I'm not moving all these cars tonight. It's just not happening. So for the time being, as far as I'm concerned, she's done. She's pumped up. I am going to let it down again, because obviously I've had the rear unit off, so there may be some air got in the pipe. So I am going to release the pressure back out of it, let it sink down, so that any air comes back through and out here, and then I'll pump it back up again, and I'll probably do that 3 times. That was how when I set the Princess up, I did exactly the same with that. And any time I've had the fluid out of the Ambassador, I've always done the same. I've pumped it up and let it down, pumped it up, let it down, and done some bouncing on it in between. So she bounces really nice now. Cool. So I'll let this down and then I'll pump it back up again. So I've got a ride height set at around about 15mm below what it should be. It is supposed to be sitting a little bit higher, but I don't want to put too much pressure into the system, only for it all to leak if it should. At the moment, so it's been about half an hour, at the moment there are no evidence of any leaks of any sort. Not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it's nice and dry at the pipe fitting on the unit, and further underneath there are no visible drips anywhere where I've connected it up to the main pipe. So she's holding the pressure. So that's it for me tonight, I think. I would have loved to have took her out for a spin, or at least get her out the front there where I've got some nice level tarmac, and I do all my pumping up and levelling up normally out there because it's nice and flat. If it's on a slight incline, that doesn't matter, at least it sits level. Where it's parked at the moment, yeah, the slabs underneath there are all over the place, so I'm not going to say that it's level at this time. But she's holding the pressure, she's sitting up nicely. Blooming trains. So I think I'll put all my tools away, go and have a shower, I think. All change. So Mrs. Wynne is back here for the time being while I've got Agatha here. So I've let the suspension settle overnight, and I've topped it up now to its correct ride height, and I've taken her out for a spin, and she drives very nice indeed. Well impressed. Yeah, it certainly likes giving the German stuff a run for its money, that's for sure. Sorry Ricky, no I didn't, I took it really steady, honest. Right, so that's Agatha sorted. So obviously this weekend I'll be out in the Mighty White, so I want to take the Mighty White out tomorrow. Train every time. So yeah, I want to take the Mighty White out tomorrow just to make sure she's running right, because she's got 2 shows over the weekend, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. And yeah, I'll probably take Agatha out probably Friday night for a spin, just to make sure she's all okay. But yeah, she's sitting nicely, and another job well done. So that's it from me in this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and smack that bell for further notifications when we release another video, and there will be more. So all that's left from me is to say take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye bye now.